Hello, welcome back to Suburban Hunt 365. I am DJ. This is actually part 5 of our muzzleloader series that we've got going on here, where we are testing powders and projectiles. In the last video we did White Hots standard load, which is a 100 grain challenge. In this video we're going to be going over yet again White Hots. So we will be dealing with White Hots, but this time we're going to be using their magnum charge, which is 150 grains or 3 pellets. A little bit of a preview. They did a lot like the 777s. If you haven't seen it, go check out our 777 standard and magnum charge loads, and you can kind of see how they reacted. These kind of acted pretty similar. So we're going through the same ones that we have in all the other videos so far. The 245 grain Powerbelt coppers, Powerbelt 250 grain aerolites, the 295 Powerbelt coppers, the Powerbelt 330 grain ELRs, the Federal Borlocks at 270 grains, and then the Hornady bore drivers at 290. So without further ado, let's get into this. The first one up is going to be the Powerbelt 245 coppers. Man, I got really excited. I thought we were fixing to see a similar group to what we originally saw in the 777 standard loads, where that 245 was pretty tight. But unfortunately that third one dropped down. But at 100 yards, even with that third one dropping down, it was 1 3/4 inch group. So 1 3/4. That's not terrible for 100 yards for a muzzleloader with pellets. So not too shabby. Next up, we've got 250 grain. Again, these are Powerbelts. 250 grain aerolites. Now that's the kind of group I was hoping to see on that first one, had it not dropped down. So that is a fantastic group right there. That actually came in at 1 1/8 of an inch. So just over an eighth, or just over an inch group at 100 yards. So we can go ahead and say, I mean, 1/8 of an inch, man, that's, I'll be willing to say that's MOA. Let's go ahead and really give that the benefit of the doubt, because that 50 cal hole does make a pretty good size hole. But, you know, just a hair over just a hair over MOA at 100 yards, that is not too shabby. Alright, next up we've got the 295 grain Powerbelt coppers, because this is a little bit heavier. 295 is a little bit heavier than the 245. So we'll see how she does. Check it out. Alright, that's pretty respectable. You can't be mad at that. That particular group came in at 1 1/4 inches. So we're keeping them pretty tight. And like I said before, the 777s with the 150 grain charges kind of did the same thing, where it really brought in those groups. So we'll see if this continues. So far the 250 grain aerolites have still got the lead on this one, even though it's pretty tight race. Alright, so moving on to what I'm really starting to enjoy are these 330 grain ELRs, also from Powerbelt. Alright, well that one kind of did the same thing that the 245 grains did, where the first 2 shots were on top of each other and that last one dropped low. Error on the shooter, dirty barrel, it's hard to really tell because it's not consistent across all of them, so it's hard to tell. But that being said, the first 2 shots were 3/4 of an inch away from each other, and then that last one dropped down and brought it to a 2 1/4 inch group. Again, with that handle deer, yes, but unfortunately that's not going to win it today. So far the 250s have still got the lead. Alright, so moving away from Powerbelt, which you guys have blown up the comments about get away from Powerbelt, get away from Powerbelt. A couple guys threw in some powder charges. That's great. You know, so far we're going for accuracy on these challenges right now, and that's where we're at. So we're getting away from the Powerbelts that a lot of you guys really don't care for anyway, and we're moving into the Federal Borlocks, coming in at 270 grains. Alright, now that's interesting. We just had the same style of group from the 330 ELRs that we just now saw with the Federal bore locks. You know, I got 270 grain, 330 grain. Is it the powder? Is it the projectiles? Is it the shooter? I don't know. Just like I was saying a minute ago. So with this one, it did the exact same thing with the 330s did, where the first two are 3/4 of an inch away from each other, and then that last one fell off. Unfortunately, this one fell off, causing it to be a 3 1/4 inch group. All right, moving on. Next is the Hornady board driver coming in at 290 grains. Let's check it out. All right, Hornady bringing it in. I'm not too mad about that. That group ended up being a 1 3/4 inch group, which is for the pellets that's pretty respectable for a pellet in my opinion. So don't hate that. Is it great? Nope. Is it terrible? Nope. So anyway, that is what we got with all 6 of these different projectiles using 150 grains of White Hot. Okay, now CVA says that the combination of White Hots and Powerbelts are the best combination for their rifles. And honestly, I've said this before to other people, I'm not seeing the major difference between the 777s and the White Hots to be able to make that, or to back up that claim from CVA about these being the best. Now again, your gun is going to shoot different than mine, but in my case, and with my CVA Ultima V2, I'm not really seeing a whole big difference with these. But in the White Hot 150 grain challenge, our winner today is going to be the 250 grain Powerbelts. Again, this is on accuracy, guys. 250 grain Aerolites from Powerbelt, coming in at 1 1/8 group, just barely over MOA. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you've been here this long, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We'll see you on the next one.